Here's the Brandon take on the red lines. We're going to cover that now.
For anyone in the Middle East.
I think everyone, Mr. Prime Minister, is trying to figure out what is meant by President Biden, how that defines your relationship. We're trying to figure out what it means by a red line, what it means by what Lawrence is articulating, and what it means when President Biden says something like this on a hot microphone at the State of the Union. Let's listen together.
We got to keep pushing what you're doing on the humanitarian stuff and all this shit. So
that's so crazy. Fox News, once again, putting a foreign nation's leader at a higher value. What is up with these fucking right-wingers, man? What is up with these right-wingers? Like, it's so crazy. These guys are traitorous to the United States of America. It's making me fucking goddamn patriotic right here. Pissing me the fuck off. It's like they care more about the fascist project than they do about America. It's goddamn un-American. It ain't no different than fucking being like, America first, baby. That's why we love Hitler. Okay? The hell's going on? These guys hate America. They hate it.
I told him, baby, show me pieces. I said, baby, you know I can't come. Sure, just.
So what does that mean to you, a come to Jesus meeting?
It's like they're sad. They're like, oh, sir, Mr. Netanyahu, sir, do you see the little tattletales? This is what our American president said about you, sir. Can you please keep killing Palestinian children, sir? We love you. Oh, wah, wah, wah. Fuck you, you un-American bitch. I'm going to deport your fucking bitch ass, dude.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the term, even though Jesus wasn't born.
Shut up, bitch. You fucking literally. Yes, you are. You grew up in Philadelphia. Like, you absolutely are familiar with the term. Okay. Oh, I've never heard this. It's like, no, shut up. You literally grew up in Philadelphia. Suck my dick. Okay. Fucking dumbass, dude. Jesus Christ. Oh, I do not know what this term means. It's crazy.
Born that far away from here. I can tell you that if it means having a heart-to-heart conversation, we've had that plenty of times over the 40 years that I've known Joe Biden, and over the 12 or 13 conversations that we've had since the beginning.
I'm not familiar with the term. Let me get some water before answering. Yeah. I'm not familiar with that term. I am, however, familiar with Geno's being the better version of the two, you know? Weird. It's weird that I know so much about Philadelphia, despite the fact that I'm the Prime Minister of the State of Israel. Very different. I don't know.
Of the war. But ultimately, you know, I'm the Prime Minister of Israel. I'm responsible for the security and future of the Jewish state. And I'm supported in my policies. That's important to understand. The overwhelming majority of Israelis support my policies, that we have to eradicate Hamas as a terrorist and governing organization, that we have to get our hostages back, and that we have to make sure that Gaza doesn't form a threat to us anymore. 99 to 9 Knesset members, that's over 90%, supported my policy of opposing a Palestinian state being rammed down Israel's throat. That's the vote we had the other day. So when people say, well, we have to have this talk with Netanyahu because he's holding back the prospect of this wondrous peace with the Palestinian state, you don't have an issue with me. You have an issue with the entire people of Israel. They're really united as never before in uniting to destroy Hamas and ensure that we don't have another Palestinian terrorist state like the one they had in Gaza that could threaten the state of Israel. That's something that the people of Israel are united behind, and from what I can see, most Americans support that as well.
Prime Minister Netanyahu, President Biden's been around a long time, It's easy to surmise, at least here in the American press, he knew he was on a hot mic in that moment. It was after the State of the Union, after all. I'm wondering what that does to negotiations, that message was communicated to you via the press instead of in the privacy of diplomatic channels. What does that do to the ceasefire negotiations? What does that do to the more than 100 hostages being held, including one-year-old Kafir Bibis, that sweet little baby, in Hamas hands?
Well, look, to the extent that the world thinks that America and Israel are united, that helps the war effort, and it helps our effort to achieve victory and obviously the release of the hostages. To the extent that Hamas believes that there's daylight between us, that doesn't help. I appreciated the support that President Biden and the administration have given us since the beginning of the war. I can only hope that it will continue to victory, because victory is at hand. Victory is close. I mean, we've destroyed, as I said, 3/4 of those fighting battalions. We're very close to victory. The best thing we can do for the future of the Middle East, for the future of peace, for the future of those hostages, is get a speedy victory. And the victory will...
Sorry, I interrupt this part of the broadcast to show you the clean girl who just got groomed.
Will come as soon as, I think will come sooner, the more united we are, not divided, or at least not given the appearance of division.
Well, I know what you're saying, but with Kayleigh's point, I did hear that you guys had virtually something agreed to with Hamas, and as soon as they see the fracture with the U.S., they said, we can hold out for a better deal since they're getting all this pressure, and that blew up the deal on the hostage for prisoner swap.
Once again, gross, wrong, and also, on top of that, objectively un-American. He's saying that, yeah, sorry, Benjamin Netanyahu, that our American government fucked up your ceasefire deal, which is not even true, by the way. Like, he's just lying. He's just fucking lying he's lying against Biden and for Benjamin Netanyahu. Fucking awful nonsense, dude. Didn't Israel reject it? Yes, because Israel did not want any ceasefire. They did not want Hamas's conditions for a ceasefire, which was actually very valid. It reads like something that the American or international intermediaries would put forward, like a pathway towards a permanent ceasefire. Oh, also, lo and behold, shocking news. Oh boy, UNRWA report claims some agency employees admitted Hamas ties under Israeli coercion. Wow. Shocked that that was a thing that Israel did. Shocking, I tell you. I don't understand. Wait, you're telling me the good guys are the ones who are torturing and offering coerced confessions under torturous conditions by humanitarian rights workers and AIDS workers from an international organization? Bro, it's literally like, yo, Israel is like operating in a comical villain fashion at this point. Straight up. Like, this is villainous. This is villain shit. Like actual B-movie villain shit. Not even like a complex villain that you can understand the point of and the perspective of. Just like straight up bad, evil, comically evil. It's incredible. Yeah. I love to torture UN workers. The good guys. Two things can still be true at the same time. They can be if you're motivated enough. Okay. Even if there was 100 UNRWA workers that actually participated in October 7, the fact that this would be reasonable, this would be grounds enough to fucking delete UNRWA, the primary mechanism for Palestinian existence, is unimaginable. It's insane. Okay? There is no metric this is no standard you would ever apply, because if that was the case, you'd fucking nuke Israel. Okay? Get the fuck out of here. You'd be like, well, sorry, there's 10. Okay? There's 10 UNRWA workers. There's one UNRWA worker. There's 100 UNRWA workers that worked and that played a role in October 7. Okay. How many fucking Israeli soldiers and government officials have played a role in the ethnic cleansing of Gaza? Okay. It's just like, it makes no sense. Okay, what do we do by that standard then? It's just, again, collective punishment to the Palestinian population. Also, my point was not that there were no UNRWA workers that participated in October 7, but the point I make still stands, which is that if there were that many UNRWA workers that participated in October 7, okay, then they wouldn't have to fucking coerce these confessions. That's the point.
Oh, I'm not sure that that's exactly what happened. I think Hamas from the start has demanded just outlandish demands that were nowhere in the ballpark. So
yeah, outlandish demands like a pathway towards a permanent ceasefire. You know, outlandish. It's like, really? Is it that outlandish? Why don't you detail what Hamas actually put forward? Yeah. Outlandish demands such as, please stop killing Palestinian women and children every day. Almost by the hundreds. Really fucked up. And it's not going to happen. We are going to keep doing collective punishment.
They weren't there in the first place. But I repeat it. We're not fighting just our battle. We're fighting the battle of civilization against barbarism. We're fighting the battle against the Iran terror act.
So for me, like I've said this before, I have no issue with prosecuting war criminals on any side, okay? Except if you think under international standards that there are going to be war criminals being prosecuted, if we lived in a perfect world where their international rule-based order was real, if you think even for a moment that there would be a significantly higher number of Israeli officials and Israeli military members and also the media in the United States that participated, aided, and abetted in the fucking genocide of the Palestinian population, if you think that number would far greatly outweigh the Palestinians that participated in atrocities, you're delusional. Okay? Straight up. Straight the fuck up. 100%. There's no question. That's why Norm Finkelstein's approach to the matter, comparing it to the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, is 100% valid. I totally understand where he's coming from when he said that this is akin to the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising that his fucking parents participated in, by the way. Okay? That he cannot sit back and criticize the Palestinian population for taking matters in their own hands after being victim to a brutal occupation, a brutal colonial occupation for almost a century. It's the same principle behind any kind of Vietnamese liberation. It's the same principle behind the FLN. It's the same principle behind the ANC in the violent actions that they took. This is a consistent position of mine since day one. Okay? Just join to hear the worst takes on the planet? Yes, I know. I am anti-genocide. If you are pro-genocide, you're going to have a fucking hard time with this. I know. It's pretty bad. I'm sorry to all of the genocide heirs and the genocide apologists that consider my commentary to be really fucking hard to come to terms with. His profile picture is XQC. Oh my lord. Holy moly. Okay.
axis, which goes against America. They say that you're the great Satan and we're the small Satan standing in their way. These are the people who are your worst enemies, our common worst enemies. And at this point, the entire international community, at least the civilized community, should stand behind Israel, reject the vilifications and the pressures that are brought against Israel that is fighting this just war against these barbarians. That's what I think is required to do. Most Americans understand it, and I hope that...
Yeah, the barbarians that we keep killing, which is, you know, women and children for the most part. Like, I love civilizing the barbarians. Like, this is straight up the same exact manifest destiny rhetoric. Like, he's not even... He is saying it with full-blown clarity, and these fucking fascist assholes sitting at Fox and Friends is just eating that shit up. And so is your, you know, dumbass relatives that watch this shit. They are like, oh yeah, he seems like such a good guy. He seems like he seems like the right guy for the job.
That's what will also be perceived in the Middle East, because it'll help us get the job done sooner.
But
we're going to win this war. Yeah.
Mr. Prime Minister,
yes, and soon.
And I hope you guys do win the war. But there's a lot of concern, not just with the UN, but we got little jihadis running around here in the United States. You got people putting pressure.
He's like, sir, Benjamin Netanyahu, sir, can you please come and kill some of the Arabs here in America? Sir, we got concerns with little jihadis running around here in the United States of America. Can you please come and kill them? Like, what the fuck is this question?
On the president of the United States. I plan on going to Israel next.
Little jihadis are running around putting pressure on the United States president. Dog, 54% of the Republican Party want a ceasefire. 77% of Americans, or 77% of the Democratic Party want a ceasefire. The majority, like I think of around 60% of the independents want a ceasefire. You are in the margin. You are unique in your approach. The little jihadis are actually going along with the majority interest. Go live in Israel then, jackass. Why the fuck are you breathing American air? I hate this shit so much. I don't get it. Motherfucker said little jihadis trying to stop Biden.
Next month to be with you guys before the Holy Week. But are you concerned about the anti-Semitism here in America and across the globe? You went to school here.
Yes, I am. Of course I'm concerned.
Yeah, he's fucking licking his lips. He's like, oh, yes, more anti-Semitism means more justification for Israel's existence as the only safe haven for Jews, of course. Biden is right when he said Israel's the only place where Jews can truly be safe. Make no mistake, October 7 happened under my watch, but that's totally separate. Please don't think about how unsafe it was for Jews in Israel on October 7. Please do not bring that up. Please. Very safe. Very safe for Jews in Israel, okay? The more we do apartheid, the safer it gets. Please do not look at the numbers that show the exact opposite.
Who would not be? I mean, and I don't think you have to be, it's not only...
Anti-Semitism is a problem, though. 1K synagogues had bomb threats called into them over the past 6 months. No, absolutely. Except anti-Semitism, not a problem for Benjamin Netanyahu. That's my point. I think anti-Semitism is a problem. It's just not one for Ben. Ben loves it. He's like, oh, please, more. If he could have it, he'd be fucking drawing swastikas himself and be like, oh, man, sure, it's bad. Oh, no, please come to Israel. Please support Israel harder. I mean, he is a literal Holocaust revisionist after all. So he loves it. He fucking loves that shit. I mean, he is also anti-Semitic, personally. I'm still stuck on that dude saying little jihadis. Yeah.
Only the Jewish people who should be concerned. I mean, anti-Semitism is the canary in the coal mine, because once you begin with this anti-Jewish hatred, you know that erupts into broader violence and just.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, keep telling him more. He's right. Anti-Semitism is the canary in the coal mine. This is a leftist take. weird that it's coming from a fucking outright fascist who's responding to a guy who just said little jihadis that want a ceasefire. Everyone's a liberal, dog. Don't forget, everyone's a liberal, okay? My man literally is like, yeah, anti-Semitism is a canary in the coal mine for much more devastation to come. True, except you're talking to the purveyors of said devastation.
Disrupts entire societies. I think that this is a real badge of shame for those who are supporting Hamas. They're supporting these mass murderers, these rapists, these baby burners, and they're supporting it against the one democracy.
It's just like, he don't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, no, I'm going to say all of that, even though half of the things that I just brought up have been shown to be untrue. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Why not?
That is fighting them with tremendous odds against a terrorist enemy that implants itself in civilian quarters, that uses civilians as human shields, that uses terror undergrounds as no army has faced. General Petraeus was here recently. He said, listen, no army is facing what Israel has faced. Colonel John Spencer.
Yeah. He's like, no army, even the American army doesn't kill this many women and children, dog, in such a short period of time. He's like, yeah, Israel faces the gravest threat of all is the Israeli army, women and children that they're bombing with, with Mark 84 2-ton munitions. No army, guys. Damn, y'all really doing this, huh? That's what he said. He was like, damn, dude, shit is crazy out here.
The head of urban warfare at West Point says no army has gone to the lengths that Israel has gone to.
Yeah. Here are some other here's some other things that the American military, at least like former generals, have openly admitted. Israel greatly diminishing the prior rules of engagement. Like the ratio of civilian to military infrastructure destruction is insane. Okay, no army has done that. Even the American army. Just think about that. And when I talk about the American army, I'm talking like these guys are pretty fucking bad. Okay, this is not to defend the American military operations by any means. Okay, these guys have been doing shock and awe every single day for like the past 5 months.
To avoid civilian casualties. So Israel is fighting this just war against the most unjust of enemies. And these people are protesting in the streets, supporting these mass murderers, these modern Nazis. That's it's disgraceful. It's as though you were fighting in World War II and you had people demonstrating in the streets of New York and Washington in support of the Nazis. That's basically what you.
That did happen. That literally happened. Hello? They did that. We did that. That is an American. That is precisely that same energy that defended Nazi Germany. Okay, look it up. Madison Square Garden. What was it? Night of the Garden. Well, Madison Square Garden, where the American Bund, the like pro-German movement, unironically had a huge Nazi rally. Except that exact same energy is the fucking same energy of defending Israel now. That is exactly what's going on. You are talking to the guys who literally are the guys channeling that same energy of the dudes who did the Nazi rally at the Madison Square Garden. That's it, bro. Crazy.
You have here. So I think the majority of Americans have it clear. Their moral compass is clear. They understand that Israel is fighting this battle of civilization. They also understand that we're going to undue lengths to minimize civilian casualties. They also understand that
dude, then you're the most incompetent. That's the funniest part. It's like either what you're doing is criminal, which I think it is, or your incompetence is criminal, which I also think it is. There's no way out of it when you've killed 30,000 people, 25,000 plus like women and children. You can't say it's negligence. Okay. Oh, we're going out of our way to minimize civilian casualties. It's like, well, bitch, go out of your way further. You've done a bad job objectively by international standards. Even if I were to take your statement at face value, which I don't, because you're a liar and a son of a bitch. Okay. Like, even if I were to take that, dude, that's crazy. This is criminal negligence that would require you to go to prison. Yeah, we're going out of our way to minimize civilians. Please do not look at the casualty numbers.
The future of the Middle East, the future of many Muslims, the future of Gazans is dependent on our victory, and we don't intend to give up. We're going to achieve this victory, I hope, with the solid support of the American government as we've had up to now, and I hope it continues. But one way or the other, we're going to do it. You got to finish got to go for the win, or else we're going to be back here in 18 months right after this with an.
Yeah. Little jihadis, bro. Fucking assholes, dude.